10 days away, which means we're running out of time for Brock's draft profiles.
The Seattle Seahawks select.
This is Brock Huard's draft profile.
You want traits? Check. You want a vocal leader? Check.
At the end of the day, you have to say, okay, what's best for the organization? Can you make people around you better, and can you bring people together?
Every day at 9 a.m. leading up to the draft.
Salty, last Thursday from Stillwater, Oklahoma, I dropped a little Cooper DeJean on you, the linebacker, the nickel, the corner. I think he played every snap last year at corner for Iowa, and I just talked about him kind of being a jack of all trades and traits. That when you look at Mike McDonald's system and what he's asking for, and kind of that Hamilton player, Kyle Hamilton in Baltimore, just a difference maker that is positionless. Certainly Cooper DeJean is the top guy on that board and on maybe in this entire draft in that regard. Behind him, and a guy that has just been creeping is safety Cole Bishop out of the Utah University. University of Utah? Utah University. University of Utah. 6'2", 206 pounds, and put on an absolute show at the Combine. One of those guys that you hear scouts say this, GMs say this. We take what they do at the Combine, and if we're blown away, and we looked at a guy going into it, and we gave him this kind of grade, and we gave him this kind of athleticism, and we, off the game tape, we gave him this, and all of a sudden there's something, either way, whether he performs terribly or he just blows up, that now we've got to go back and let's make sure we do our homework. Let's dot our I, let's cross our T, let's watch that game tape, and let's see if maybe, upon further review, that is why Cole Bishop was so productive. That's why he was back-to-back leading tackler for the Utes. That's why he was team captain. Because he ran 4.45 at the Combine. At 6'2", 205, that is blazing. A 1.5, 210, that is blazing. A 39-inch vertical, that is extraordinary. So maybe the reason that he had in his career, 197 tackles, the reason why he had a bunch of tackles for loss, 21 and a half tackles for loss, the reason why he had 7.5 sacks, the reason why he was so productive at and behind the line of scrimmage is he's that kind of juice to work with. He has that kind of athleticism. I've seen Cole Bishop all 3 years. He came in and started as a true freshman at Utah. You know what's hard to do at safety at Utah? Start as a true freshman because they demand a lot. He was originally committed out of Peachtree City, Georgia, to Duke. Smart dude. High intellectual capacity and acumen, and then all of a sudden looked at it, and I remember asking Morgan Scalley and Kyle Whittingham, how did you get a guy from Peachtree City, Georgia, who was committed to Duke, come all the way out to Salt Lake City? And he was like, well, he studied us. And he actually kind of reached out to us, and as he kind of blew up and really grew into his frame, his last year of high school was like, no, I want to go there. They know how to produce safeties. They know how to produce defensive players. I want to go play for them. And boy, has he played. Second team all-conference last year really doesn't tell the story. The number and the level of production for the team captain on that side of the ball for Utah does. Ask Jim Nagy, that head of the Senior Bowl. Ask Jim Nagy right now who his biggest climber is heading into this draft in 10 days. On a very short list will be Cole Bishop because those numbers were extraordinary. The instincts are off the charts, and you want a guy that can play safety. You want a guy that can play nickel. You want a guy that can blitz. You want a guy that can cover tight ends. You want a guy that can cover people in the slot. You want a very interchangeable, positionless guy, Salk, and with a couple safeties on short-term deals. You want to find that next great safety. Cole Bishop, maybe in that third round, gives you that kind of opportunity. Over the next 8 days, I'll start to, project guys more in that first round range, second round range. Cole is still probably in that third round range. I don't think he climbs all the way up into the end of the second. He's probably a third rounder, but man, there is a lot to like from the safety out of the University of Utah.
All right, that is another Brock draft profile. Will you help me out with something?
Yes.
Because unfortunately, and this is unfair, and I recognize its unfairness, because the mistakes of one person should not be in any way attributed to the next.
Marquise Blair.
It's hard for me to because Marquise Blair was such a disappointment.
He was, and he was so full of snap and rage and power, and when he hit you, he cut you in half, but he just didn't bring the other side of it. He just didn't bring the just processing and the quick functioning. And, he got kicked around with a few other teams. And I'm surprised, frankly, I haven't seen him in the UFL or some of these spring leagues. I think his body also, a couple knee injuries, and just body got beat up with the style of play that he brought. But, yeah, you can't let the sins of one former player or one draft pick get in the way of this guy, because they are totally different players. Different players.
It's really hard not to.
It is.
It's really hard when you say Utah safety, and I know you like both of their safeties.
I do like
this
both
year.
their safeties.
It's
Rocky, the other one.
It's really hard when you're just like, oh man, because that Marquise Blair one is going to sit with me for a little while. He's one of the most disappointing picks they've had. Like based on how well I thought he was going to do versus what actually happened. Oh, what a crushing pick that ended up being. So, all right, there you go. We are 10 days away from the NFL draft. That is truly amazing.